guys, welcome back to our channel. In this video, we are going to see about classes in Dot. Let's get started. A class is a blueprint of creating objects. Now let's see how to create a class now. There's a keyword called class. By using a class, for by will be giving a name for our class called person, or just the person. So yeah, so this is how we have to declare our class in Dot. So inside the class, we also having a fields, and we also have a functions and getters and setters and constructors. So now we'll see how to use those things inside our class. Let's remove this. I'll just declare a variable called name inside our class. We'll assign it as like declare as a ROM. Okay, I think we don't do this. So yeah, inside our main function, we have to create an object for our class person. So for that, person variable name is a person. So yeah, this is how we have to create our object for our class. And by using our person variable, I'll just call a print here, person dot name. So if I run this, yeah, you see the ROM is printing in our console. So this is how we have to create an object for our class, and we can also create a constructor inside our class. Person, the constructor name should be same as our class name. The constructor will just print. So if I run this, you just see the first is constructor called is printed. So whenever we are creating an object for our class, the constructor will be first initially called. So, and you can also create a named constructor. Use some like we have to use our class name person dot say init. So inside this, I'll just print name constructor called, and okay, if I run this, let's see the constructor is called. So if I use if I create another object for same person class, this time with our named constructor, let's say person1. So if I run this, just see the console. The first object is printing as a constructor called. So and then we have created with the named constructor. So this one is called. So now we will be getting a named constructor called output here. And you can also create a function inside our class. Let's say void function. So inside this, just print function call. Okay, I'll just remove this. If I called our sample function here, if I run this, just see the console. The constructor is called, and after that our sample function is executed as well. So this is how we have to create a function inside our class. And now we'll see how to create a getters and setters for our class. First I will create a setter here. We'll name as a set name. Inside this start name, we are assigning the coming variable name here. So initially we'll just empty this. Okay, and we'll write a getter here. Our type will be a string get name will be our name. Inside this will be returning a name here. So yeah, so now we'll see here. I'll just remove the sample function. First I will be giving a value for our setter set name equal to here, giving a Sivaram. After that, I'll just try to get a value from our getter. So get name. So if I run this, you can see the console here. Constructor is called, and after that, name, whatever the name you're passing here, so that thing will be called here. If I just give a name wrong, so wrong is printing here. So this is how the setters and getters are working in our class. Now we'll see the inheritance concept in our class. I'll just remove those things here. Okay, I'll just keep this sample function here. Let's remove these 3 lines in our main function. So yeah, I'll create another class here called person2. I'm gonna extend person class here. So if I create an object for person2, okay, person2, okay, if I click this, I can still access the sample function which is defined in our parent class. So this is our parent class, basically person class. So this is our child class, person2. We are just inheriting from this class. That means like all the fields and all the methods of this class will be accessible in this child class. So if I run this, you can see the function called in the console. So this is how the inheritance works, and you can also create another class, person3. Will extend person2. If I try to create an object for person3 class, so if I run this, you can still see the function called. So that means like you can access all of our data members and data fields which is in our parent class. We can still access in all of our child class here. So this is how the inheritance works in our class. Also create a class with static members and static function, which you don't have to create an object for that. You can still access with it directly. I'll just create a class called data. So we say that I'll be declaring a static variable int equal to %10, and I will be declaring one method 2. So inside this, I'll just print method. So in our main function, I can call this class by using data dot a as well as print data dot print data function. We don't need this here since we are already printing inside our static method. So if I run this, you can see the 10 and static method. So this is how the static variables is used to retains the value till the programming, till the program is executed. So you can also create a static classes like here. And there is another way to use our class without creating a object. Like I'll just remove this. We'll call it as a method 1. Method 1 called, and we'll create another function. So yeah, we have created a 2 method here, and we can still use our data by using a cascading operator, double dot. You can call our method 1. Forwarding that, you can also call a method 2. So if I run this, you can see the method 1 called and so as method 2 called, and this is our instance of data. So our class is also printing. And now we'll see how to create an abstract class in our dot. First of all, the abstract class is we can't create an object for it, but it can be a subclass for many classes. By using an abstract keyword, we have to define an abstract class. We'll call it as a base class. So inside this, I'll just give a 2 method like hello1 and hello2. So these are the abstract method. So abstract method can be only declared inside our abstract class by using this semicolon. So we have defined a 2 function here, and we'll create a 1 class here. We'll call it as a data. We'll extend our base class here. As you can see, the compiler is showing red line here, missing concrete implementation of, we have missed our 2 implementation of this 2 method in our abstract class. So if I click enter, it just gives the override methods which is inside our abstract class. So 2 of our method is overridden here. I'll just print here hello 1 called. I'll just put here called hello 2. And inside our main function, if I try to create an object for our data class, and if I call this hello1, and you can see our set class method here, and if I just run this, you can see this hello1 is called and hello2 is called. So this is how we have to define our abstract class in our dot, and this is how we are going to use our abstract class in our normal classes like this. And in dot, you can still access our parent class by without extending it by using a with here. If I run this, you can still see the console hello1 is called and hello2 is called. By using a with, you can still access a parent class without extend it. And we also having a concept called Mixins here in dot. We'll see how to do that. And now we'll see about Mixins in dot. Since we don't have multiple inheritance in dot, so we can't extend more than 1 class for a single class. So it will be very toughful if you want to build some complexity logic by using a class. So that's where the mixin is used. And mixin is not a it's not a it's not an alternative for like multiple inheritance like kind of things. Instead of they are just a way to use like reuse our code from a class in multiple hierarchies without needing to extend them. So it's like being able to use other people assets without being the child. So yeah, that's how it works in Dart. Now we'll see how to use them. Uh, we have to create a one mixin called, by using a mixin keyword we can create a mixin class. I'll just create this as a physics, and for it I'll just create a normal class called subjects, and I will just create another one mixin. We'll call it as a chemistry. So if I'm creating a like marks as a class, I'll just extend subjects with physics and chemistry. So this is how it works. Like if I want to create a like class called subjects, there will be a two subject obviously like physics and chemistry. And if I want to create a class for marks, and definitely I will have to extend our subject class and with physics and chemistry. So if I, and now I will just create a method inside our mixin called mark, or individual mark here. I'll just print physics mark, and I'll just copy this, paste instead of chemistry 2, chemistry mark. So this is how we have to use our mixins in our Dart, and you can also restrict your mixin class like by using the on keyword. If I create another class called total means, so if I use the on keyword in our mixin class physics, if I just give it as some subjects, so as you can see the marks class is extended subject, so that's why this the compiler is not showing any error. If I change the like subject class into our total class, as you can see the error is showing like we can't use physics like here, since we have given a restriction for our physics mixin, so we have to use only on subject class. So if I change into our subject to total, so you can use it mixin class here. So this is how the condition like also works in our mixin class in Dart. And now we'll see about generic types in our Dart. And usually first we'll just declare a class here like sample class, and another class is a dummy class. So inside each class I'll just declare a one variable. I'll just assign this, and same for our dummy class name. I'll just declare a constructor. So yeah, so in our main method I'll just create a like object for our both of the classes. Sample class equal to sample class. We'll name it as a run, and get an object for dummy class. We'll name it as a Glen. So yeah, I'll just create a separate function called GetGetters. So if you want to pass a value to this function, like as an argument, you have to like a specific class type here. So then only you will be able to pass the object here. So this, so if I change this data to our dummy class object, so it will just show the error, like since this is our data type, so like the argument type dummy class can't be assigned to the parameter type sample class. So this exception will be occurs. So for this, like if you want to you don't want to specify a data type, like you want to access any classes inside your method, means you have to use a generic type called T. So if you defined a type as a T, so this will be a generic now. So you can also pass a dummy class as well as a sample class. So inside your function, you can check which type is coming, which type of the class is coming inside the function. You can check with the is keyword. For example, like this, data is sample class. And just print data as sample class dot name. Okay, we don't need cast, I think, since we find our type here. So if data is dummy class, print dummy class or dot name. So I'll just modify this to so yeah. First I will be calling a sample class to get data function. So if I just run this, you can see a sample class run is printing. So since we passed a sample class object here, so if I change it to our dummy class object, if I run this, you can see dummy class run. So this is how the generic type is declared in dot, and this is how you can use whatever the logic. If you want to use it, you can use it there. So this is how the generic type is works in dot, and now we'll see the asynchronous function inside our class. Let's remove this. Create a class called data. So inside this, we create a asynchronous function. This will be a future of void get data limit. So we have to pass a asynchronous. We have to pass this keyword here, since this is a asynchronous function. So inside this, we'll just print a void future dot delay. We'll give a duration in a second, 5 seconds. We'll call a function here. So inside this, I'll just print I'm back after 5 seconds. So if I have to create a object for this, so we don't need to create object. I'll just make it as a static function here. So instead of main function, I'll just print data dot get data. So if I run this, oops, I think I have to just call this function. So if I run this, so see, so after 5 seconds, the text is printing. So I am back after 5 seconds. So this is how the future function is working in our dot, it's just executing the code asynchronously. So here I just delayed the code for 5 seconds. So after the 5 seconds, I just printing a value called I am back after 5 seconds. So this is how it prints in console. So this is how future function works in Dart. So that's all for the today's video, guys. I think we have covered all of our Dart basics so far. I think we are good to go to learn about Flutter now. And do like, share, and subscribe to our Breaking Code channel, and leave suggestions or feedbacks about our channel, about our videos, and in a comment section. I will check it out, guys. And stay tuned and stay safe. Bye.